Do you agree or disagree that we should provide benefits for the unattractive, short, or obese community?
I think it just depends. I feel like for short people, there's no real reason why we should provide benefit in them becoming tall. Because tall people still suffer, like especially like when you grow like old and stuff. Tall people tend to just have more back problems than short people in terms because of their height and stuff. But for unattractive and obese, I feel like it just depends on the circumstances, because a lot of, especially for like obese people, what I've heard is a lot of the time it's something medically related where they just gain a lot of weight. So I think it really just depends.
Okay. So, what is your positionality? Or, in other words, like, how have you been affected by attractiveness, height, weight, prejudice, or discrimination? Like, have you personally been affected?
I feel like if I have, I don't really notice it. I mean, other than like within family and constant talk about like my weight and stuff, but other than that, I just notice it a lot more on other people. Because me in particular, it's just I have weight, but I'm not as fat as people who are considered obese and stuff like that, or I'm not plus size, so I don't get as affected as they do.
Okay. So, which argument or piece of data do you believe is the strongest evidence to support your position? Like, do you have any arguments for or against?
For like my own experience?
Or just for your opinion on whether or not they receive benefits or should receive benefits?
I think it's just listening to people's stories and just hearing what they've gone through and kind of analyzing that and then sorting that data, doing like surveys and stuff. Yeah.
What are some strategies that we can employ to reduce the prejudice and discrimination experienced by the unattractive, short, or obese community?
I think just having meetings or kind of just empathizing, just having those like hard conversations and those like reaching out and actually trying to learn from the people themselves or from like those communities who are affected. Especially like individually, you can reach out and kind of just, even if you have certain thoughts or opinions and you're like, oh well, like commonly a lot of people are like, oh well, they should just lose weight. Okay, but why? Do you know why they're having a hard time losing that weight? Or do you know what caused them to be unattractive? Because maybe before they were really attractive, but they've gone through an incident that caused them to be quote unquote unattractive. And so kind of just doing this empathizing and having those conversations.
So do you have any interpersonal strategies like individuals can employ? Or like you said, I suppose empathy, just
empathize, commit yourself to actively try to learn about people instead of just sitting there and assuming, having these assumptions, because if you constantly have these assumptions, then not only is that going to negatively affect you in the case that you might gain weight and you're like, well, I don't know, like, just learn to empathize. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.